Making pizza at home is more than just preparing food. It is a delightful culinary adventure that transforms ordinary evenings into memorable celebrations. Imagine the warm, comforting aroma of fresh dough rising in your kitchen, the sound of bubbling sauce simmering on the stove, and the vibrant colors of fresh vegetables spread across your counter. This is not merely cooking. It is an art form that blends tradition, creativity, and togetherness. Whether you are making pizza for your family, friends, or simply for yourself, the process invites you to slow down, connect with the ingredients, and create something truly special. The foundation of every great pizza is the dough. It is the heart and soul of the dish, the base upon which all flavors will rest. In a large bowl, combine high-quality flour, instant yeast, a pinch of salt, and warm water. As you stir, feel the transformation taking place. The ingredients slowly merging into a sticky mixture with endless potential. Transfer the mixture to a floured surface and begin kneading. With each push and fold, the dough becomes smoother, more elastic, and full of life. This step is not just mechanical, it is therapeutic. The rhythm of kneading connects you to generations of bakers who perfected this craft long before you. When the dough finally achieves a silky, supple texture, place it in a lightly oiled bowl, cover it with a clean cloth, and let it rest. Time and patience now take over, working quietly to create a light and airy crust that will later crisp to perfection in the oven. While the dough rises, turn your attention to the sauce, the flavorful companion that ties the entire pizza together. A simple yet vibrant tomato sauce can elevate your creation from good to extraordinary. Begin by gently heating olive oil in a pan, then add minced garlic, allowing its fragrance to infuse the oil. Stir in crushed tomatoes, a sprinkle of sugar to balance the acidity, and a handful of fresh herbs, basil, oregano, or thyme. Let the sauce simmer slowly, bubbling softly as the flavors deepen and meld. The scent fills your kitchen, signaling that something comforting and delicious is on its way. You might even close your eyes for a moment, inhaling the aroma that recalls both rustic Italian kitchens and modern family gatherings. By the time your dough has doubled in size, anticipation has already built. Gently punch it down to release the air, then divide it into portions depending on how many pizzas you wish to make. Roll out each piece on a lightly floured surface, using your rolling pin to stretch the dough into a circle or rustic oval. As the crust thins beneath your hands, you can almost envision the finished pizza, golden, crisp, and carrying the flavors of your chosen toppings. Transfer each base carefully to a pizza stone, cast iron pan, or baking sheet, sprinkling the surface with cornmeal or flour to prevent sticking. Now comes the moment of transformation. Spread a generous layer of your homemade tomato sauce across the dough, leaving a small border for the crust. The sauce forms a bright red canvas ready to be decorated. Next comes the cheese. Fresh mozzarella is a traditional choice, but you can mix in provolone, parmesan, or even goat cheese for added depth. Picture the cheese melting, bubbling, and browning under the intense heat of your oven, creating a blanket of creamy richness. Then, let your imagination run wild with toppings. Perhaps pepperoni for its smoky kick, bell peppers for their vibrant sweetness, olives for a salty tang, or fresh basil for its fragrant freshness. Each choice adds character and reflects your unique style as a home chef. Preheat your oven to the highest setting, ideally around 475 degree or 245 degree. Slide your pizza carefully into the hot oven, and as it begins to bake, the kitchen transforms once again. The dough puffs, the cheese melts into golden pools, and the edges crisp to a perfect brown. The air becomes filled with irresistible scents that make waiting the hardest part. Every minute brings you closer to a masterpiece crafted with your own hands. When the timer dings and you remove the pizza from the oven, you are greeted with a sight that feels both familiar and extraordinary. The crust is golden and crisp, the cheese bubbling and slightly caramelized, the toppings glistening in their juices. Allow the pizza to rest for just a few minutes, so the cheese can set slightly and the crust can hold its shape. Then, with anticipation building, slice through the crust, revealing the layers of flavor within. Serve immediately, perhaps with a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil or a sprinkle of crushed red pepper to elevate the flavors even more. The first bite is nothing short of magic. Crispy crust, tangy sauce, melted cheese, and the burst of toppings harmonizing together. At that moment, you realize that homemade pizza is not just food. It is joy, creativity, and connection all in one delicious slice. The beauty of making pizza at home extends far beyond the recipe itself. It is about the experience. Cooking together can be a form of bonding, a way to bring people closer through shared effort and laughter. Children love shaping their own dough, choosing toppings and watching their personal creations bake to life in the oven. Couples find joy in experimenting with unusual flavor combinations, while friends can gather around the table to customize their own slices, each pizza becoming a story of shared creativity. The act of preparing pizza together turns mealtime into an event, one that nourishes not just the body but also the heart. To elevate your homemade pizzas, explore variations and techniques that highlight different cultural influences. Try a Neapolitan-style pizza with its thin, charred crust and fresh, minimal toppings. Or venture into deep dish territory, layering thick dough with generous amounts of cheese and sauce for a hearty indulgence. You might also experiment with whole wheat or gluten-free crusts, offering healthier alternatives without sacrificing flavor. For a twist, brush the edges of your crust with garlic butter or sprinkle sesame seeds before baking, creating an extra dimension of taste and texture. The possibilities are endless, limited only by your imagination. Toppings, too, open a world of creativity. Beyond the classics, you can explore gourmet combinations that turn your kitchen into a pizzeria worth bragging about. Imagine caramelized onions paired with goat cheese, arugula drizzled with balsamic glaze, or roasted butternut squash with sage and parmesan. Seafood lovers might enjoy shrimp or smoked salmon, while meat enthusiasts can layer prosciutto sausage or even barbecue chicken. Vegetarians will delight in roasted peppers, zucchini, mushrooms, and artichokes, while spice lovers might add jalapenos or chili flakes for a fiery kick. Each variation tells a different story and adds excitement to the dining experience. Even the sauce itself invites creativity. While a tomato base is timeless, you can experiment with alternatives. A creamy white sauce made from ricotta and garlic, a bold pesto bursting with basil and pine nuts, or even a smoky barbecue sauce for a sweet and savory twist. Pair these with complementary cheeses and toppings to create entirely new styles of pizza. Each variation reminds you that pizza is not a fixed recipe, but a canvas for endless possibilities. Beyond flavor, making pizza at home also teaches patience, mindfulness, and appreciation. Watching the dough rise, smelling the sauce simmer, and waiting for the cheese to melt are all small lessons in slowing down and savoring the present moment. In a world that often moves too fast, these pauses become precious. Cooking allows us to reconnect with the basics, flour, water, yeast, and time, and appreciate the magic that simple ingredients create when treated with care. Sharing homemade pizza multiplies the joy. Imagine serving slices to family members gathered around the table, everyone reaching in eagerly, laughter filling the air. Each bite carries not only flavor but also the memory of togetherness, of effort invested and love shared. Unlike takeout or frozen options, a pizza you make yourself carries your personal touch. Every fold of the dough, every sprinkle of cheese, every topping carefully chosen. It becomes a gift of time and creativity, one that strengthens relationships and builds memories. Ultimately, making pizza at home is not just about satisfying hunger. It is about creating an experience worth cherishing. It reminds us that food is more than fuel. It is culture, tradition, connection, and joy. With practice, you will refine your skills, learning how to achieve the perfect balance of crispy crust, flavorful sauce, and delicious toppings. And each time you pull a pizza from the oven, you will feel the quiet pride that comes from crafting something beautiful with your own hands. So gather your loved ones, roll up your sleeves, and let your kitchen become a place where stories are baked, laughter is shared, and memories are made, one pizza at a time.